I got into the hand of kidnappers, and this one is very crazy because it's something that I have to face every day. It was in a public bus, so I still take public buses every day. So you can imagine, I can get triggered like 10 times in a bus. When your life is actually flashing before your eyes, when somebody is threatening to remove your eyes with screwdriver, take a picture and send it to your mom, blindfolded, tied, and beating a boniki balm right into my eyes. Like, what? So it was as if somebody poured like a cup of gari into my eyes wide. So you can imagine when you are just sitting by yourself, you just imagine the person eating you. That is how trauma is. But my friends were always there checking on
Support
me.
system.
My dad would always call my mom, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Hope you are not thinking and everything. And then I had to start distracting myself. I picked up a skill that I've actually had before, and it helps me meet people. That was what worked for me.
Welcome to another insightful episode of the Bodied and Mindful. And I remain your host, Coach Nikki. Today I have with me Miss Adetope Sijuwade of Casglam. And she'll be talking to us today about trauma and recovery. So Tope,
Yes, please.
talk to us. What does trauma mean to you?
Okay, like she said, my name is Adetope of Casglam. Oh, before I forget, I'm a makeup artist. Now, trauma. To me, like, let me be specific and personalize this. It's when I'm going out of my usual way. Like, I'm acting in a weird way. I'm having behavioral disorders. And this might be my own response to something that's happened to me in the past. Maybe I was injured, heartbroken, had like a sad incident, and I'm just trying to, have a flashback of what had happened before, and it's affecting me in my present state. So that's just it for me.
Okay, can you tell us how many times have you been trauma? Have you experienced trauma? Or what was your earliest, what can you remember about the first time you experienced trauma?
Okay, I think the earliest was, I would not like to go into so much details, but I think that would be in 2017.
Okay.
So the summary of it was like, I had this, let me just say, the relationship with someone. And when you have this kind of relationship with someone that you could basically bet your life on that person, that no, this person can't do this to me. Like, no, I just trust. And then the thing just eats you like a giant yellow school bus. And it took me years. When I say years, I'm not talking of 2-3 years, like 4-5 years, that even the trauma from that past relationship affected the one that came after it. Because each time I'm seeing like a pattern of what happened before, that's defense mechanism that,
it starts to trigger.
Yes, that I think this thing is going to happen again. And I get all defensive, like, no, before this thing happens again. And at the end of the day, it might actually be nothing. But because of that trauma, that I was still in healing process. So like, I've not even healed from the form before I got into another one. So it was really a crazy time for me. And then another one will be this year. Like, this one is even still very fresh, like till now.
Can you tell us what happened?
Okay. Basically, I got into the hand of kidnappers, and my sister, I can tell you for free that even till now, I still suffer from sleepless nights. And it's crazy because this one is very crazy because it's something that I have to face every day. It was in a public bus, so I still take public buses every day. So you can imagine, I get triggered like, I can get triggered like 10 times in a bus within the space of 10 minutes. I'm telling you. And I'm talking of serious panic attack. Like, the first time I came out after that incident happened, I had a major panic attack. When I'm talking of major panic attack, like, I could not breathe, I could not talk, like I was just stuck, like I was frozen. It was really, really bad. Even till now, though, it's getting a little bit better, but once there's any kind of scenario of something that happened, then I get triggered immediately. I'll start having headache. I'm someone that I don't sweat. So once you see me like breaking a sweat, you just know that I'm back there again. So my sister, it's not something that I'll actually, no, I don't even know how to explain it, but trauma is really, really crazy. And it's different for different people. Some people, they can get over theirs in weeks, in months, depending on the degree of the incident. Some years, like it takes them years for them to actually recover. So it was really bad. Like it's still really bad because I'm still trying to, like, deal with it and face my fear basically. But
Okay, can we before I ask you more questions about the fresh traumatic experience you had this year,
yes.
I want to walk back a little to the trauma you experienced in the relationship.
Okay.
How did you how did you deal with it? How did you come out of it to ensure that you don't slip back into, when something triggers you?
Triggers me,
How
of
did you
course.
take care of your emotional health? Because if you don't, I find that if you're faced with a traumatic experience and you don't deal with it, you don't face it, there is no way it won't trickle into your next relationship. And if you're not careful, it will trickle into all the other areas of your life.
Definitely.
So how did you handle it? How have you handled it, or how are you still handling? Because the truth is that sometimes it takes a long time.
That's just
You
it.
understand? It takes time. You have to give yourself time. But what are the things that you've done to help your emotional health, that you have to remind yourself, okay, you're in a relationship, I don't need to carry the baggage from the
My
previous. So
relationship.
how have you, helped yourself? What have you
Okay.
done so that people can learn?
Thank you. So the thing is, at first, I could not deal with it. One of the baggage I carried from the previous relationship was trust issues. Like I had major, even okay, I'm better now. I had major trust issues. Like any little discrepancy, like little, it might actually be harmless. No, I will start flaring up. I'll take it so seriously. It became very bad because the person I was with was even patient because I, explained the whole where I was coming from and everything. Though he was patient with me, at least at some point. I had major trust issues. I think that was like the biggest fear. I could not just trust. So at some point, it was affecting me because I was not enjoying the relationship. The reason why I'm in another relationship was to get over what I've been through, enjoy it. So I was not in it. I was trying my best to walk on eggshells, build wall around me. So some things I was
And
supposed
that's
to
not.
be so some things I was supposed to be doing, I will not do them. That, oh, in case anything wants, my language was always, in case anything wants to happen, and then I've not put myself in it, so I can just easily walk away. But then I actually thought of it that I was lying to myself because I was not happy.
Basically, you were robbing yourself of joy.
I was not happy, honestly, because that was not me. I'm the kind of person that when I'm in a relationship with somebody, even friendship, I love to give my all, like regardless of the energy I'm getting, but I love to be in it. So me trying to, like, oh, let me cut back on doing some things, don't let us do this, don't let us do that, don't let us post, don't let people know we're dating, so that in case the relationship ends, it will be like on a coded level. And then I just sat myself down. I thought of it. Like I think an incident triggered and I felt like, you are just unhappy. What's not the point of you entering a new relationship?
Making someone else unhappy as well.
Exactly. Like you are trying to project your hurt from your previous relationship into this one. What is going to work out will work out, regardless of how protective
How
you
careful
are.
you are.
Careful. Thank you. That's the word. So after I had that talk to myself, I started easing out. Little by little, gradually, I started coming out of my shell, doing some things. Okay, I'm dating this person, like that, and this and that. And with that, I started overcoming my fear little by little. I started trusting, okay, if he tells me this, I take it. If he tells me this, I take it. Though that's, now, women, that part will still say, but I won't show it. I will just have it in my mind. Just like that. And then I had like a friend. I spoke to someone. Now, speaking to somebody,
support system.
You need to be sure that it's someone that can help you.
True.
Not that you talk to somebody about it and then your gist to be on group chat.
Not even that. Some people say, is it because of this thing?
Exactly.
They belittle. People have this penchant of belittling somebody's trauma.
Like, you can't tell me, guy, break your heart. Then everybody they chop breakfast. Why are you taking it so?
Are you the first person to experience heartbreak?
So I had a friend, 2 friends actually, and those girls were amazing. They were basically my support system. Like, they are watching this, shout out to you, Titi and BC. So I spoke to them and they were always, no, don't be like this, do like this, don't do like, you get like, they were always, oh, this and that, this and that. So that was it. So first, I had support system. People that I trusted, that you need to know the kind of person you choose as your support system. If it's somebody that you know, I can't actually confide in this person, please, I will advise you, let your support system be Jesus. Just talk to yourself and Jesus. And then I spoke to myself too, because it's one thing for your support system to actually advise you. It's another thing for you to be willing to take it.
Yeah, you have to take part in your healing process.
So you need to take it, speak to yourself that, okay, do I really want to get better? Because at some point I knew I needed to do something.
Yeah.
I was just so unhappy. Like,
and that's always the first step, knowing that you need help.
I just
and then
knew
seeking
that
for it.
I needed to do something. I can't continue this way. So
that's awesome, and I'm happy that you're, on the road to full recovery.
Yes.
So now let's talk a little bit about the freshest traumatic experience. I know that it's still because at the time it happened, I was also informed.
Yes.
And I know how it affected me. It didn't happen to me directly, but because you're my friend, like, I just couldn't imagine what you were going through. Like, while you were in that situation, what was going through your mind?
Okay. So at that point, I was thinking of, first, God, please, I don't want to die. Yeah. That was the first thing. Like, I was not even concerned about crying or, oh, let me be, be emotional so that they can pity me. Yeah. I just didn't want to die. I started thinking, oh my God, I've never even done anything with my life. I don't want to die. Lord, I don't want to come out and then find out that my parents probably had issues. I know my dad is aged and my mom is, hypertensive. Like, when they are trying to rescue me and they slumped, and you get like the trauma
of it all. Yeah.
So after when I just put my faith that I just know that, God, please, I don't want to die. And when I came out of it, the first day, the day it actually happened, I slept. My sister was even shocked that I slept.
Wow.
One thing I've noticed about myself is when I'm traumatized about something, the first thing I do is I live in denial. That's a very big problem. I try to deny that I have issues. I try to deny that something happened to me. I would be keeping a happy face. In fact, a friend of mine told me that if she was the one that this kind of thing happened to, she'd probably spend like 3 months in the hospital. But that first night, I actually slept. And then the second day, and I knew, I can't sleep. I need to talk, because this one is crazy. And this is something that I'll be facing every day.
Like, how crazy was it? Like, was it just...
when your life is actually flashing before your eyes, when somebody is threatening to remove your eyes with screwdriver, take a picture and send it to your mom. You were tied at the back of a car.
You were tied?
Yes, blindfolded, tied, and beaten. Like, my years on it, I don't think I've received that kind of beating before, because I'm somewhere that I don't look for trouble. I was beaten, like, better beating. And then after the whole thing, a boniki balm right into my eyes, like...
What?
So it was as if somebody poured like a cup of gari into my eyes wide. So you can imagine those flashes coming when you are just sitting by yourself, and then you just imagine the person eating you. That is how trauma is. You just be by yourself. The next thing, one image you just flash. I'll just see myself there. That's you. It will be as if you are sitting there, you're having a flashback. I'll just see myself at the back of that car, inside, being blindfolded, and I'll just snap out of it. I just want to thank God for my family and friends. If I come back to this life like a million times, I will choose those people over and over again, because I would have gone crazy. I lost, before it happened, I was on 60 kg. I lost 5 kg just within the space.
I saw you.
I would just sit, like, I can't sit for a minute and not have a flashback. I can't. And even till now, like, once I get into any situation that is just an innocent and harmless scenario, but looks remotely like what happened, panic attack, and then that headache would just come from nowhere. I would just know that I'm sweating. I will start shaking, be having tremors, my hands. Like, it will be visible. You will know that something is wrong with this lady. So I will just hold myself. Tope, calm down. Nothing is going to happen to you. Tope. It might sound like it's funny, but it's the actual truth.
This is a real experience.
I'll need to be telling myself, Tope, calm down. You are not in that situation. Nothing is going to happen to you. Calm down. Sleepless nights, like, counted. I was even hiding it from my sister and my mom, because I know how worried they can get. So most time I'll just pretend as if I was sleeping. Once they are asleep, I'll wake up and sit down. In fact, if tears could wash away trauma,
it would have been
easier. I've cried like millions of buckets, but I just, my friends were always there checking on me.
Support system.
I'm telling you, my dad will always call my mom. How are you feeling? How are you doing? Hope you are not thinking, and everything. And then I had to start distracting myself. That was what worked for me very well. I just
How did you distract yourself?
Thank you. I picked up a skill that I've actually had before. And I just felt, I need to do something. I work.
Something productive.
Thank you. I'm an employee. I feel like that skill, the makeup skill, is something that I've had before, and it helps me meet people. Like, I meet people, new people on a daily basis. She
did my makeup, by the way.
Thank you. So it might not work for everybody, but that was what you need to know, what actually works for you. I felt that I need to go out more, because normally I'm an introvert. I love the 4 walls of my room. I can be there for a year if I see food and Netflix. So I felt like I need to go out more, do something. So I started to pick up my skill again. And then I started going out, meet new people. And those people are actually amazing, because we just talk during the sessions. We talk like, this and that. We started sharing. You share your burden. And then it really helped me. It really helped me a lot. And aside from that, I was just distracting myself with other stuff, movie, chat with friends, call, just get busy.
All of these things you mentioned is most of what we call self-therapy.
Thank you.
If you're at that point where, if for you, you're blessed with the kind of support system that you have. But unfortunately, there are so many people out there who experience, this kind of traumatic events, and they don't have a support system, or the kind of people that are around them are the kind of people that would belittle your trauma.
Exactly.
Because I don't know, I've talked about this before, my own childhood trauma of being sexually abused. I have made the mistake of speaking to the wrong person.
Yes.
Like, maybe not more than one person, 2, 3 people. And I was told that, it's not something that happened a long time ago. I'm like, do you people understand that I was 6 years old when this happened, and I was intimidated into silence? Imagine developing insomnia, having nightmares, at that age. It was
really, really crazy.
It was crazy. So that's part of the reason why we are talking about this today. Don't belittle people's traumas. Even people who belittle your trauma, they have experienced certain traumas that they can't, that they haven't even gotten over. But because people don't understand the importance of, they don't even know how to support people who have experienced trauma. So let me ask you again. Let me ask you this question. What was it like easing back into work?
At first, it was awkward because, you know, I was coming out for like the very first time, and most people had heard what happened, and, you know, this, sorry, oh, pẹ̀lẹ́ o, that kind of something. So it was, most people don't like, I'm one of the people that don't like this pity, like, sorry. So I would just run into the bathroom and cry again. Like, hey, God, which kind of wahala is this? And then my friends at the office would be like, just calm down, you know, don't, you are this. It affected me for a very long time at the office. They noticed I'm usually this bubbly kind of person. That's why I said it's a behavioral disorder. You just shift from your normal self. You might not know that this actual thing is called trauma. You might just feel like, oh, maybe it's this thing. But when you have a sit down with yourself and you think about it, you will just know. I became quiet. Like, I would just be calm.
Yourself.
I would just be calm. Like when you say, I'm always like the life of the party. Once I'm somewhere, you will know that I'm there. Like 2-3 people at the office notice and they're like, you are still not fine. You keep saying you are fine. You are not fine. This is not you. When people start telling you this is not you, you need to take a step back, check. And you need to find out the cause of what's going on. Because you might be like me and you be in denial. That was what I was doing first. I mean, like, it happens to people. People get kidnapped every day.
I think that's why sometimes it's not always, you know, everybody's traumatic experience is different.
Of course.
But there are certain things that you go through in life that affect you. If you don't face it, they end up, if you don't face it and you push it to the back. And you continue living your life like it didn't happen, our body stores trauma.
Of course.
So one way or another, that thing will come out if you don't face it. And it ends up trickling into all the other areas of your life if you don't watch it. And that's part of the reason we are talking about this, because it is normal. There is no way you would experience something that's grave,
of course,
something that painful, like losing someone or, you know, being kidnapped or experiencing heartbreak. It is normal. It is a natural response. So it's very important to take a step back and deal with it. If you need to cry, you cry. If you need to be vulnerable with someone, you do that. You find a support system. And that's why I always say, stop keeping people around you that cannot support you. Stop having friends that will not be there for you. You understand? Friends that you cannot fall back on. Even you yourself, that's another thing. Being able to support somebody who is going through something.
So it was just, what I would just say is, please, trauma can be as little as losing your dog. Like you might actually, what people don't know is when they hear the word trauma, they feel like, oh, it has to be something big, like, oh, somebody died or something. Trauma can be as little as your friend relocating. Your friend can relocate. Maybe you guys have been so used to each other and she just relocated all of a sudden, and you're the kind of person that you don't really warm up to people very fast. And then your friend relocates all of a sudden. And then before you know it, you become reclusive. You don't want to go out and make new friends. You don't want to meet. You are still hanging on to that friendship that you know, oh, I can't even see this person. Though the friendship is still there, but it can't be like, because you guys can't see. And then before you know it, you just become withdrawn. And once you become withdrawn, you've entered it.
That's another thing.
Before you know it, different thoughts will start coming to your mind. And I'm talking of negative, silly thoughts. Like it will just start coming up.
I think it's because like someone explained to me at one time, we are social beings, you cannot be alone. So if you keep to yourself, it is going to still affect you at the end of the day. So Tope, people out there who are facing, you know, who have experienced traumatic events in their life, what would you advise them? How would you, because we know that you're still going through your own.
Of course.
But, you know, you're already on the road to recovery.
Yes.
Because you have all the tools and all you need is just time.
Yes, definitely.
So can you drop some advice, you know, share your wisdom based on your experience?
All right, based on my experience, like I will say, the first thing you need to do is to realize that you actually have a problem. Like, you can't live in denial. it will only magnify the problem. And before you know it, it will get to a point that you can't even go back. You will just wallow into depression. Like, whoa, let me just take it like that. So first, you need to realize that this is not my normal self. I need to get back to my usual self. When you realize that, you need to get a support system. You can't do this life alone. In getting your support system, please make sure it's somebody you can trust. Make sure it's somebody that you know you can actually confide in, that you know this person will tell you the honest truth. Not somebody that will tell you, oh, it's normal. Yeah, of course, it's normal for you to feel this way. It's normal. Don't worry. Time heals all wounds. My sister, my brother, time heals all wounds. But it's not all kinds of wounds. Some time can take 20 years. Some can even last in a lifetime, that the person would have slipped into depression. And before you know it, the person would have lost purpose for his life.
Yeah, that's the quality of your life.
It can be that bad that when you become reclusive, you don't want to get help. You will just become depressed. You will just start overfeeding. You will just start doing things that are abnormal. And to you might feel like, why am I eating too much? You just be like, oh, I'm eating too much. Maybe. So you need to realize that, okay, this is a problem. Get a support system. Might be just a person in your family, in your church, among your friends, your office, maybe, I don't know. When you get that support system, they will advise you. Take the advice. Sit yourself down, because like I said, it's not everything that works for everybody. Know that if it's something that can help you, that, okay, yes, speaking to somebody, this person told me this. Is this something that can actually work for me?
Can I try
it? If you know it's something that can, because you can get support system and they will advise you that, okay, let's start partying more. Fine, you go out, you party. By the time you go back to your house, your problem is there waiting for you by your doorstep. You will just wear it again. So you need to know that, is this something that will actually help me heal? Because the bottom line is to actually be healed or be on your way to recovery. When you get that, you should be willing to also help yourself. You might realize that you have a problem, fine. You get a good support system, but you might actually not be willing to take the advice or help yourself. You just feel like, well, what's done is done. And that's the problem. When you're in denial, it will only magnify the issue. Now, most importantly, you already know me.
Yes, now.
The place of God can never be overemphasized.
Awesome.
I am telling you. If you know that, oh, I don't think I have any human to trust, my brother, my sister, please carry your Bible. If you are a Muslim, carry your Quran. See, God is not somebody that you can talk to like the way they make us feel like, oh, the way God is one.
Unapproachable.
Yes, that somebody that is like a monster that you can't talk to. No, I'm telling you, because that is like the basis of what really helped me. I became closer to God. I had like a deeper relationship. Just sit and talk to God. I don't understand. This is not me. You'll be surprised that you are talking to God like your next door neighbor.
Yeah.
That thing will be like it's speaking to you from your mind. You won't know where those thoughts will just be coming from. Like, okay, do this, do that, do this. You won't know. You just feel like, I don't know. This thing just came to my mind like, I should do this. That's God's way of speaking to you. So please, very, very, in fact, make that top of your bucket list, that God will even direct the support system to you.
Sure.
You will just notice that this person doesn't chat me on a normal day. Why is this person checking on me?
Yeah.
Like, it happened to me. Like, I made some friendship within this period. Like, by normal standard, me and this person, we are not really close, but I found out that they were actually friendships that I needed at that point. So please, you see God, number one, realize you have a problem. Please don't live in denial. Get a support system you can trust. Emphasis on you can trust. I know what I'm saying. And then be willing to help yourself. Healing does not take... You can't give like a specific time to be healed. It's a continuous process. You might think you've gotten over it. Maybe in 10 years, something like that might just happen and you just have like a little trigger. But because you are on the journey of healing, it will help you to be able to handle it. So that's my 2 cents.
Wow. Thank you so much, Tope, for sharing this very sensitive journey, sharing your insight, sharing what you've learned.
Thank you.
We are grateful. I am grateful because I can't imagine what it would feel like to go through such a traumatic experience. So thank you, Tope, for sharing your story with us, sharing your journey with us. And like I always say, this is a safe space to share your stories, to share what you have learned from working on your emotional and your mental health. So don't forget to comment, share, and like this video. Don't forget to subscribe also. So until next time, stay bodied and mindful.